Uh, Good evening. Namaste. Welcome to another session of Kahani Kancheti. Today, we are all here to pay our tribute and celebrate the life and times of Pandit Birju Maharaj ji. Now, as we all know, Birju Maharaj ji has been a very, shall I say, a positive and a very dominating factor in our lives, in the lives of our nation. He has been the most respected dancer in recent times, and his death has certainly caused a great sense of mourning amongst all of us. Today, we will actually be discussing the life and times of Maharaj ji. And I want to start this by telling you or sharing with you something that you possibly also know, that how important and how dear was Maharaj ji to us in our lives, in our cultural life, in our entertainment life, is that when his last rites were being performed at the ghats in Varanasi, the people surrounded the pyre when it was being lit, and they actually did the mudras and did the bowls. I think it was a remarkable way of saying farewell to somebody you loved, respected, and admired. And I think these bowls and the mudras, that with listening to which or hearing which Birju Maharaj was cremated, was possibly a very unique way of paying our tribute to this great master. Now, to discuss this great master, today, Kahani Kanchiti is extremely fortunate in getting with us people who have been associated with Birju Maharaj ji and the dance form and Kathak in different ways. So let me bring them on one at a time and introduce them to you. And I hope you will, if you have, you will enjoy this show. And if you have any questions to talk in between, please do use the chat box, and I'll pass them on to my participants. So my first participant here today I want to bring in is Keka Sinha. Namaste Keka ji, यहाँ पे आने के लिए हमारे इस मेमोरियल सेशन. मैं थोड़ा पहले केका जी का इंट्रोडक्शन दे दूं. Actually, I'm calling her Keka. वो तो थोड़ा अपना सवाल है, but actually she is Guru Keka Sinha from Mumbai, and she's an eminent Kathak artist and choreographer who has made a niche for herself in the field of classical dance for over 35 years. She's an A-grade artist of Doordarshan and an empaneled artist of East Zone Cultural Center, a member of the Regional Selection Committee of Center for Cultural Resources and Training, New Delhi. She is the founder director of Kalapi. Have I got that right, Keka? It's Kalapi, right?
Yes, you did that. Yes.
Okay, Kalapi Center for Performing
it's
Art.
Peacock.
Kalapi Center for Performing Art. Okay, Peacock. All right, there you are. And she's a Sangeet Prabhakar. She has a Sangeet Prabhakar degree, and she's a recipient of Singar. So she is Guru Keka Sinha, who is with us today, and she will be talking about her association on the dance form and about Birju Maharaj ji. Then I have got Moushumee Garg with me. Moushumee Garg is an acclaimed dancer, pursuing dance for 42 years. Now, Moushumee, when I read that 42 years, I was almost tempted to ask you that, did you come out dancing, when you started, because 42 years is a huge lifetime. And Keka ji also 35 years. You all have spent long hours in this, in the art of perfecting the dance and teaching it, as I can see it. Moushumee had started her dance training in Kolkata at an Indian classical dance in Kathak under Guru Rajan Bose, who was a disciple of Shambhu Maharaj ji of Lucknow Gharana, and that later diversified into creative dance under the tutelage of Srimati Amala Shankar of Uday Shankar India Culture. So big icons over here in your life, I can see. She has also attended many workshops of Birju Maharaji and considers him to be the most influential inspiration in this whole journey of dance. So, very fortunate, Keka and Moushumee, you all have really been a part of a system, a process, which is something that is people are envious of, I'm sure. Now I bring in Dinesh Bhai, Dinesh Poddar. Dinesh Poddar actually started, he's again, he keeps saying that I'm a Marwari from Kolkata, born and brought up. So I would rather not talk to him much in Bengali because I find his Bengali is better than mine at least. And he insists on talking on Bengali when I talk to him in Hindi. So I leave that, but today we'll have the discussion in Hindi and English. And Dinesh Bhai apparently started as an actor with the famous theatre group Padatik, which was run by Shamanal Jalan. And it's still an iconic theatre group in Kolkata. And when at some point of time they were staging Khudi To Pashan in Hindi, they needed an actor, so Dinesh Bhai came in as an actor. There were some dancers, and his wife Luna was a part of the dancing team, and that is where they met. Incidentally, tomorrow is Maharajji's Shraddh day, so Shraddho as we call it in Bengali. So right now, Luna ji is little busy getting the Shraddho organized, so she will join us towards the latter half of today's program. Now, Dinesh Bhai has been associated with Maharaj ji since 1990, which makes it good 31 years. And he has been mainly in charge of the grand shows that Birju Maharaji would put up. He was the man in charge of the lights. Now, when you say man in charge of the lights, which meant man in charge of the complete production, because those of us and all three of us over here have been involved with this, are constantly involved with the stage and the theater, so we understand what a spectacle that happens when the lighting happens. And Maharaji used to come and stay at Dineshji's house in Kolkata very often. So he has been a part of the Birju Maharaji family. So these are the people who are going to talk and share. But before I go any further, I like to Moushumee, I'd like to pick on you a little. And what I want to pick on you a little is that, you know, ever since Birju Maharaji expired, again there is a lot of talk of Kathak. There is a lot of talk of, other names have come in. Like just now, while reading out your introduction, Shambhu Maharaji's name cropped up. Then there was Lachu Maharaji. So can you briefly, I have done a small kind of a tree on the Kathak from some data here and there. So I have tried to put it together, which I shared with you. So can you just take us to this, the evolution of the Kathak? Now, for instance, yesterday something new cropped up when we were having a to my mind, Kathak was very, very Lucknow. It was very, very Wazidari Shah, and everything was Lucknow. But when I was inquiring from you all about Roshan Kumari, Keka ji said that, well, वो तो जयपुर घराना की है. तब मेरे को लगा कि अच्छा ये कथक का एक जयपुर भी है. फिर आप लोगों ने बोली कि नहीं, सिर्फ जयपुर और लखनऊ नहीं, ये भी है, वो भी है, रामपुर भी है. तो मैंने सोचा कि पहले थोड़ी सी क्लैरिटी आ जाए कि ये कथक का वो क्या है. तो मैंने एक छोटा सा वो प्रेजेंटेशन किया, मैं वो स्क्रीन शेयर कर रहा हूँ और मैं आपको ही फोकस में रख रहा हूँ और वो स्क्रीन को मैं आपको सुनता जाऊंगा और वो स्क्रीन को मैं शेयर करते जाऊंगा. तो मैं जरा स्क्रीन को लाता हूँ, एक मिनट. लेट मी शेयर दैट स्क्रीन. There you are. I'm sharing the screen, Moushumee, अगर आप इसको देख सकें. हाँ, आपको दिखाई दे रहा है ये स्क्रीन?
अभी हाँ, स्क्रीन दिख रहा है.
दिखाई मैं आपको पहली स्लाइड में ले जा रहा हूँ. हाँ, आप बोलते जाइए. ये जो टोटल सम सब्सटेंस है, इसको मैंने 3 भाग में रखा है आज तक. आप ये ईश्वरी प्रसाद जी से शुरू करिए.
I would like to give you a little brief history of Kathak before coming to the Gharana. So, Kathak is one of the dance form which is from North India, amongst the major 8 dance form, classical dance form that we have in India. But Kathak actually is started from that folklore. So, Katha kahe so Kathakar. So, jo Katha is the storytelling. It started from that. So the bards, North Indian bards, they would go from this one village to another to talk about the stories. They tell the story, the folklore, and then they were called to the mandir, and they were given these religious scriptures and Ramayana and Mahabharata to again narrate the story through their music, dance. And like that, Kathak flourished. And when it came to Gharana, finally, so it has an evolution. So there was when Kathak was actually this Bhakti movement came. So that time the Krishna Leela, the Ras, the Lasya of Kathak dance was came into being. So actually this Gharana, so Gharana concept came from Ghar se Gharana. So जहां वो जिस घर में वो प्रैक्टिस होता था, जहां पे होता था, उसी का नाम से वो घराना बना है. लाइक नाउ वी कैन कम टू ईश्वरी प्रसाद. So Ishwari Prasad actually came from a place called Handia near Allahabad. He came to Lucknow and he had a dream that Sri Krishna, Bhagwan Sri Krishna has ordered him to go there and start the Natwari style of dance, which is Krishna, dance on Krishna. So he had 3 sons, Adguji, Khadguji and Tularamji. And then Adguji again had 3 sons. So Prakashji, Dayalji and Harilalji. Then Prakashji's sons were Durga Prasad, Thakur Prasad and Manji. And then Durga Prasad's son were Bindadin, Kalka Prasadji and Bhairoj Prasadji. Now, Bindadin and Kalka Prasadji had a huge impact on the dance and the dance form, and they took the dance form to a different level altogether. So Lucknow Gharana actually for their stream, it is also known as Kalka Bindadin Gharana. So this is where, this is Birju Maharajji's Gharana, because Kalka Prasad's son is Achan Maharajji, Shambhu Maharajji and Lachu Maharajji, and Birju Maharajji is son of Achan Maharajji. So this is the Gharana tree that we have, a very rich Gharana. So once in one of the interviews that I heard, Birju Maharajji said, all through our lives, even from our grandfather and my father, we always talked about music and dance and nothing else. The conversation from morning till late night will be only dance and music. So that is what about this Gharana, and it's popularly known as the Kalka Bindadin Gharana. It's a branch of Lucknow Gharana. And if you want to also let me tell you a bit of differences that the Gharanas have. So we have this Lucknow Gharana, Jaipur Gharana, and Banaras Gharana. And there are other Gharanas also, the Raipur Gharana and all, but these 3 are the main Gharanas. And if we talk about Lucknow Gharana is more of, Natwari style of dance, the stylization, the nuances, and it uses more of your soft movement, lasya, and also Kavit is not a thing, not much in this Gharana. They use a lot of Thumri, Dadra, and Kajri and ghazals to express their emotions. And the costumes, it's of course the costumes are influenced by Mughal costumes. It's anarkali and churidar. So these are the main points which it is different from the other Gharanas.
Okay, so that gives us a little bit of an understanding of the Gharanas and the Kathak and this Maharajis from Banaras and Lucknow all put together. Now, Keka ji, I'm coming to you. आप जरा ये बताइए कि why did you take up Kathak as your vocation, and what made you run through Kathak, as you have said, last 35 years, and what has been the influence of Birju Maharaj ji in your taking Kathak, and this passion of Kathak? How has that happened? Tell us about
Sure,
Kathak and
sure.
you.
Yeah. So actually, 35 years I mentioned that I am into this profession. I've taken it up as a profession for 35 years. So, but I started dancing at the age of 4. And that time we were in UP in Lucknow, in Bareilly. We were not in Lucknow that time. So that time I was only 4 years old, and I was introduced to dance because my father had a very very he was inclined to all forms of art, and he never got the opportunity to do it. So he wanted us to learn, and so I was introduced to Kathak right there at that age. And then when I came to Kolkata, my roots are actually in Kolkata, although I'm in Bombay for the last more than 35 years. So in Kolkata, then I started learning. So because I started learning Kathak, so I naturally, continued with that. It was not that I chose from other dance forms and I wanted to learn Kathak. And it's somewhat like it imbibed Kathak only. And then and my guru in Kolkata, which I really would like to mention as Guru Vandana Shen, and she and my other guru from whom I learned in Bombay as Reba Didi, Shrimati Reba Vidyarthi, and Reba Didi was connected to Kathak Kendra for 35 years, Delhi Kathak Kendra, and before she came to Bombay. And so when she came to Bombay, so I was, taking training from her. So both of them, both my gurus were actually direct disciples of Shambhu Maharaj. And Reba Didi had also learned from Achan Maharaj. And so my journey of dance continued right from childhood. And then when I came to Bombay, I took it up as a career, and I thought of it as in my profession. And with Maharajji, actually, my first encounter with Maharajji, since we were in different city and we couldn't go to Delhi to learn from him, and I was quite this thing with very very comfortable with my gurus and in Kolkata. But when I had performed, the first encounter with Maharajji was in Banaras, when I had gone for a performance, and Maharajji had come with the Kathak Kendra group. And that was a time that first time I felt myself so fortunate that I could take his blessings and go up on stage. That was my first interaction with him personally. And he sat, and I must mention one thing, that no matter how great an artist he is, nobody needs to hear from me how great an artist he was, but uh, he would give that kind of respect and to everybody, even if it is a child, if it is an upcoming artist, or he would not differentiate, and he would not say, okay, I mean, because he's of such stature. But he sat through the program, he would see the program, and he would comment also, like like he loved dance so much that whoever, even if it's a child is dancing, he would give that much importance and that much respect to that person. So yes, so after that there were many many encounters, and in many shows I had the opportunity to perform in front of him. But when he started coming to Bombay in the 90s, every year for the workshop. So the first time that he came, that we were very very thrilled, all of us, all the Kathak dancers, we all flocked into Nehru Center. The Nehru Center first, sponsored this workshop, and for everybody, like whoever would like to, learn, and for 4 5 days, and that was this first, started teaching in Bombay. He used to come to Bombay and start teaching. So we all felt very happy, and And that time during the workshop, Shujita, please tell me where I need to stop, because otherwise there's so
Okay,
much to
no,
talk about
you.
him. Yeah,
I know there is so much to talk. Let me give you finish this, and then I'll go to Dinesh
yes,
ji, because you all are
yes.
actually giving me clues to take on Dinesh ji on something. हाँ, आप और थोड़ा
So
बोलिए उसको
yeah,
we'll take it on.
At Nehru Center, in the beginning, like in the first few years when he had come in during the night, I don't remember the exact year, but in that it was in the 90s, and that time, like we were like how I said, we were very happy that he's going to like we'll get an opportunity to learn directly from him, and there I have more danced definitely, but it is not possible in 4 5 days to adapt his style, or but the the things that I observed, and that was a great learning from me during the workshops,
Right.
because the patience that I was talking about, we used to get tired, but he would sit through and he would get up and dance and show, and not a single moment did I see him feeling irritated or saying that, okay, like it's okay, they are I mean, let them do, like children, okay, short, or scolding anybody or saying that you're no good, you're not getting it. I've never ever heard him say that. He was so patient and he was
Amazing,
always smiling. Amazing, amazing personality. And he
amazing.
was
That's actually
always smiling.
that's what. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No, I
what we
was saying
have
that's what makes
heard.
people great.
Great.
That's the great
The
of
greater the
greats.
person,
Exactly.
yeah, a greater a person is, the humbler
Greater
a
the
person
patience.
is. And he is,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah, and he
Exactly.
actually, lived it. And here I must mention that Shashwati Didi also, I really admire her, that because the disciple, it's a rare quality, like such a dedicated disciple of any
Right.
guru, because just as a mentor, just as a disciple needs a mentor, the mentor also needs the disciple.
Sure. Okay. Let me come to Dinesh bhai. दिनेश भाई, हम तो अभी तक ये दोनों तो महाराज जी के साथ उनका जो कनेक्शन था, ये सब के बारे में बातें कर रहे हैं. आप मेरे को ये बताइए, यू हैव बीन अ पार्ट ऑफ महाराज जी's परफॉर्मेंसेस ऑन स्टेज इंडिया एंड अब्रॉड, एंड देयर हैव बीन अ वेरी लार्ज नंबर ऑफ दिस परफॉर्मेंसेस, वो चाहे कलकत्ते में हो, दिल्ली में हो, लंदन में हो, बाहर भी कहीं हो. व्हाट वाज दैट मैजिक? आपने तो एकदम उनको स्टेज से रात दिन हर टाइम देखा है, उनके साथ आपने उनका प्रोडक्शन का वो डिस्कस किया है. व्हाट वाज दैट मैजिक कॉल्ड बिरजू महाराज? आपको क्या लगता है वो मैजिक क्या था?
महाराज जी के संबंध में जितना बोले उतना कम है. वो मेरे लिए भगवान के समान, मेरे पिताजी के समान, मेरे दोस्त. एक समय हम लोग दोस्त हो जाते थे, एक समय गुरु हो जाते थे हमारे. जैसा जो सिचुएशन होता था उस सिचुएशन में महाराज जी के साथ में हम मिला जुला करते थे. महाराज जी का जब प्रोडक्शन हम डिजाइन करते थे तो कुछ बेसिक जो उनके दिमाग में होता था वो बता देते थे कि हमको ये चाहिए, ये सोच रहे हैं. वो चाहे रोमियो जूलियट हो या बाज बहादुर हो, कोई भी प्रोडक्शन, जितना भी बड़ा प्रोडक्शन इन कुछ सालों में किए महाराज जी के साथ में, तो बेसिक वो बोल देते थे कि ये है मेरा थॉट. उसके बाद में पूरा का पूरा मेरे ऊपर छोड़ देते थे कि तुमको जो करना है करो, और हम करके देते थे उनके दिमाग के हिसाब से, उनकी सोच के हिसाब से कि वो क्या चाहते हैं. एक सीन में हम सजेशन भी लेते थे. बिना डांसर या कोरियोग्राफर के हम लोग लाइट वाले लाइट नहीं कर सकते हैं, ये मालूम ही होगा आपको. क्योंकि एक डांसर या कोरियोग्राफर एक प्रोडक्शन को लेके 3 महीने 4 महीने 6 महीने काम करते हैं, तो उनकी जो सोच है, हम तो 6 दिन में लाइट डिजाइन करके चले जाते हैं. वो 6 महीने में जो सोच के रखे हैं वो तो 6 दिन में संभव नहीं है हमारे पक्ष में सोचना. तो हम लोग उनकी हेल्प लेते हैं कि वो क्या सोच रहे हैं, किस सीन के बारे में क्या सोच रहे हैं. तो महाराज जी से हम डिस्कस करते थे, जब रिहर्सल देखने के लिए जब जाते थे तब डिस्कस करके फिर हम उसको अपने हिसाब से प्लॉटिंग करते थे पूरा लाइट का, कि कहाँ पर क्या लाइट लगानी है, कौन से सीन में क्या मूड है। और चूंकि हम डांसर नहीं हैं तो हमको समझने में भी दिक्कत होती है कि कौन सा हाथ का क्या मूवमेंट है, क्या मूड में जा रहा है, कौन सी मुद्रा में क्या मतलब निकलता है। ये महाराज जी से हम पूछ के फिर मूड क्रिएट करते थे। एक ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट पिक्चर को लाइट से कलर करना, बस इतना ही करते थे।
अच्छा दिनेश जी, बताइए, ये तो सही है कि आप जो बता रहे हैं कि उनके सुझाव लेकर नाच के ऊपर लाइटिंग प्रोडक्शन, पर आपने तो उनको स्टेज से देखा है ना, मतलब उस साइड से उनके साथ दर्शकों का वो जो रिश्तेदारी होता है ना, एक द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन द कनेक्ट, जिसे हम कहते हैं अंग्रेजी में द कनेक्ट बिटवीन द आर्टिस्ट एंड हिज क्रिएशन एंड द ऑडियंस, ये आपको कैसा लगता था? वो तो एक मैजिकल था, मतलब जब वो स्टेज पे परफॉर्म करते और उनके दर्शक। हाँ,
नहीं, वो इसलिए मैजिकल लगता था ना कि महाराज जी, आज क्लासिकल डांस बोलो या क्लासिकल म्यूजिक बोलो आप, तो सबको बहुत घबराहट होती है, डर लगता है कि क्लासिकल बाप रे बाप क्या होगा, हवा होगा कुछ। लेकिन महाराज जी कथक को इतना इजी बना दिए थे, इतना इजी बना दिए थे कि दर्शक को न समझने में दिक्कत होती थी, दर्शक बहुत इंजॉय करते थे। ये महाराज जी का सबसे बड़ा गुण था कि वो इतना हल्का बना दिए थे कथक को, इतना सरल बना दिए थे कि किसी को समझने में कोई दिक्कत नहीं आती थी। कोई भी मूवमेंट का उनके पास में माने था। ये हाथ क्यों जा रहा है, तो हम कभी कभी सुनते थे कि अपने हाथ की तरफ देखो, अपनी कलाई को देखो और सोचो कि ये कितनी सुंदर है। बिंदिया पहने हैं तो क्यों पहने हैं, अपने ललाट की तरफ सोचो कि हम ही सबसे खूबसूरत है। तो ये जो महाराज जी बोल बोल के, और एक हम ये भी सुनते थे कि लूची, लड्डू, जलेबी, इसको भी लेके कथक का बोल बना दिए थे, जो कि किसी भी बच्चे को समझने में कोई दिक्कत नहीं आए। तो इतना सरल बनाना, ये तो मैजिक महाराज जी कर पाए, इसके पहले कोई नहीं कर पाया। आज केलू बाबू भी थे, केलू बाबू भी ओडिसी को कहां से कहां लेके चले गए। क्यों? उन्होंने सरल बनाया इसको। अगर ये कठिन होता तो लोग इतना प्यार नहीं करते इस डांस से, और न महाराज जी से इतना प्यार करते। ये मैजिक था उनका, महाराज जी का, कि उन्होंने सरल बना दिया था।
okay, excellent, that answers a lot of questions. Keka, let me ask you this: since you run a school, you run an academy of Kathak,
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा
why
अच्छा,
do you
लूना आ गई है। एक बार लूना को सुजीत जी आप ले लीजिए, उसके बाद में फिर रिपीट करें।
हाँ लूना जी, एक मिनट में जरा। लूना जी नमस्ते, हम कहानी कंचित की तरफ से
नमस्ते।
हाँ, आपका स्वागत, आपका स्वागत। हमारे साथ केका जी हैं और मौसुमी जी भी हैं, और हमें पता चला कि आप शुभी तो पाशा 1990 में आप डांस में थी।
नमस्ते नमस्ते।
हाँ, अच्छा, तो हाँ, तो मैं आपके पास अभी एक मिनट में आ रहा हूँ, पर केका जी मैं जो आपको पूछ रहा था वो ऐसा है कि इतने सारे स्टूडेंट्स आ रहे हैं, is the number of students in Kathak going up? Is Kathak, but do you see this from the youngsters that Kathak is becoming a more popular format for creative expression and joining dance as a dance form?
Yeah, Shujita, actually living in Bombay, it is a very, it's very, very difficult to actually, make, people actually be attracted to classical dance. It is very difficult. But we have been striving to do that. And and I very much agree with Dinesh ji, what Dinesh ji was just sharing. Exactly, I wanted to share that his contribution, Maharaj's contribution to popularize this dance form, this classical dance form, because people get intimidated. Oh, classical, I will not understand, so let me not, even try to understand it. Yeah. So he has made it, ghar ghar mein, so that people can understand, like how he said that he simplified Kathak, being within the boundaries of Kathak, and that is a great contribution to this. And because of that, today, even here in Bombay, where this Bollywood is so much in, it's empowering here. So here also, people are learning Kathak. The children are learning Kathak. The parents are sending them. And for that, I would really appreciate, that it is Maharaj's contribution. Yeah, I will tell you one
Absolutely.
thing.
Thank you for
Because he had
yeah.
come up, I just wanted to show one thing. Wonderful thing. He
Mhm.
and it's a
Please.
treasure for me. Luna must be knowing this very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
In 2000, and it is a treasure for me because it has his signature in this. He had given me this with blessings,
Ah,
and when he had
lovely.
in 2000, and this book is a treasure because all the movements, because people say, the other dance forms they see in Kathak mein Natya Shastra and all grammar and all these things are not there. Yeah, it is all there, but it was not named. Like, it is all there. We all, like, everything is from Natya Shastra only, all the classical dance forms we follow. But in Kathak, nobody had named them and nobody have classified them. And that's what he did. Like, each and every movement, each and every stance, he has given a name and he has simplified it. The geometric patterns, in dance. Not a single movement is with the geometric lines in Kathak. So those who will understand will understand that. And and the bowls. And he simplified them, and yet he made it so attractive. So that each and every child can also get interested and not think, okay, no, Baba, I will not learn. That was his greatest contribution.
Excellent. Excellent. I think that's been a very great contribution. Really, I do appreciate. But Moushumee, let me ask you one thing. But I'm going to get on to something else but you are also into creative rendition of the dances.
Yeah.
You have these creative
Yes.
creations out of dances, so to say.
Yeah.
How does Kathak help? How does Kathak help in communicating? How does Kathak help?
It's the most powerful dance form to get, like, somebody can incorporate into creative dance. Because all other dances, if I would correctly point out, has got a framework. You can't go out of that framework. Now, this is also Birju Maharaj's contribution, that he made Kathak look so versatile that you can incorporate it into your kind of choreography, what you want to express, what you want to emote. So that has become the absolutely the nritya part, the abhinaya, the emotions. So that helps a lot in creating whatever dance you want to create. So other than the nuances, as it is, the Lucknow Gharana, the dance is, aesthetically, it is very appealing. It is beautiful. So in any case, that's a beautiful form to incorporate into any kind of creative dance you do.
Okay, that I think answers what I was looking for. But Luna, let me ask you this.
Shujita, excuse me. Shujita, excuse me, because people are not being able to join. So they are sending messages. They can't join. Yeah.
Okay.
What link should they follow?
Okay, they should follow. Can I speak it out over here? They should follow Facebook.com.
Can you put it on the chat?
I'll put it on the chat. Just a minute. I'll put it on the chat. Just a minute. I think that will be better. Yeah. This is the thing. It's already on the chat. On the chat on your side, if you can see, it is Facebook. Those who, if you can please pass it on, it is facebook.com/kahani KAHAANITALES Kahani Tales. facebook.com/KAHAANI. It's a double A, KAHAANI TALES, honey tales.
Okay.
I think that
Thank
should
you.
solve the problem.
Thank you. Sorry for interrupting.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
because
you.
people want
No,
to
no, no, no.
join, they can't.
Good,
Yeah.
good. No, good you mentioned. We want people to join. We are having such a rich discussion, so we want more people to join. And now I'll be coming to other thing. But before that, I want to ask Luna. Luna ji, you have been associated, what Dinesh bhai was telling us, 30 साल. तो बिल्कुल अगर मैं 1990 से लेता हूँ, जैसे आप उनके साथ थे से 2022 32 साल, तो आप उनके साथ तो आपने परफॉर्म किया है, आप उनके साथ बाहर भी, देश में बाहर में भी गए हैं. तो आपको क्या लगता था कि वॉज ही द सिंगल पर्सन जो ये कथक का जो ट्रेडिशन है उसको खुद कैरी कर रहे थे? मतलब एक तो था कि ही वाज द मेन पर्सन. हाँ, ही वाज द मेन पर्सन. इस बारे में कोई नहीं, पर इन्होंने क्या, मेरे को जो लगता था कि महाराज जी ने ये कथक को, ही अडॉप्टेड कथक फॉर दिस कंट्री एंड he carried it forward on his shoulders with great sacrifices done on the way. हाँ,
Exactly.
तो इसके बारे में कुछ,
उन्होंने इस डांस फॉर्म को, एवरीबॉडी नोज कथक, हमारे जो क्लासिकल फॉर्म्स है सब अपने आप में बहुत सुंदर है, बहुत क्रिएटिव, बहुत सब कुछ उसके अंदर पूरा खजाना भरती है. बट कथक को महाराज जी ऐसे जगह से उठा के उनको इस जगह पे पहुंचा दिया कि हमारे आगे हम तक तो ये एक जनरेशन हुआ, फिर दूसरा जनरेशन शुरू हुआ. अब उन्होंने शायद 100 साल की और चीजें हमको दे के गए कि हम दूसरे को दे के जाए और फिर वो आगे लेके जाए, फिर वो आगे लेके जाए. तो हमें यही बचपन से सुने हुए हैं हम जी. जहाँ पे शुरू किए थे पंडित विजय शंकर जी पदातिक में, वो भी महाराज जी के पुराने शिष्यों में थे. उनके पास जो सीखे हैं, उनके भाषा अगर नहीं जानते तो महाराज जी का भाषा समझ में नहीं आते थे. अगर अभी महाराज जी का भाषा जब समझ में आया तो उनका खाली डांस नहीं, डांस के साथ और जो चीज, कैसे उन्होंने डांस को अपने बच्चे की तरह उसको उठा के एक सुंदर जगह पे लेके गए, वो जो उनके जो जर्नी है वो बहुत क्या कंट्रीब्यूशन बोलना भी शायद बहुत ही छोटा वर्ड होगा हमारे लिए. वो अपने आप 100 साल के लिए बना के गए, और 100 क्या उससे भी ज्यादा, कि वो खत्म नहीं होने वाले. वो ऐसे चीजें हम सबको देके गए, इतने सारे स्टूडेंट को ऐसे सिखाए. ये जो दीदी बोल रहे थे केका जी और मौसमी जी, जो उन्होंने इतनी सिंप्लीफाई करके हमको दिए हैं कि हम जब भी सिखाने के लिए जाते हैं, सिखाते हैं बच्चों को, तो उन लोगों के वही बातें याद आते कि कैसे हमको बोला जाए. 2000 साल के पहले हम भी नहीं जानते थे कि इस मुद्रा को क्या नाम है. उसको हम सुनते थे जब तक किताब नहीं आया, उससे 2-4 साल पहले भी सुनते थे. लेकिन आजकल बहुत ही इजी हो गया उनको इस डांस फॉर्म को प्यार करने के लिए. इसको मॉडर्न, कौन सा मॉडर्न पता नहीं, इससे मॉडर्न शायद और कुछ हो नहीं सकता है. महाराज जी कंपोजिशंस है, सब समाचार दर्पण सबके बना हुआ है, वो नीलांक का और रिवाइंड फर्स्ट फॉरवर्ड, वो शायद सब लोगों ने देखे हैं. कुछ बहुत माने ये सब कोरियोग्राफी वो कब की बना, तब मतलब तब से वो उनके दिमाग में थे कि इस डांस फॉर्म को कैसे सिंप्लीफाई करते लेके जाए. और ये एक्चुअली हम जब बच्चों को सिखाते हैं, हम बोलते हैं जो पढ़ाई उसको शायद ये डांस नहीं होगा, क्योंकि ये पूरा मैथमेटिक्स है. 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4, 1 3 1 2 1, उसको जोड़ा लगाओ, उसको माइनस करो, उसको डिवाइड करो, उसको प्लस करो. यही 7 की गिनती है, वो 10 जो बना के दिया. देखो 7 से 5 डिवाइड करो, फिर 6 से 3 डिवाइड करो, वो बन गया. तो अगर ये मैथमेटिकली इतना वो क्या बोलूं, तो वो उसको देख के ही अच्छा लगता है कि मुझे तो बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि मैंने ये डांस फॉर्म को सीखा है, क्योंकि इसमें बहुत कुछ विशाल एक समुद्र जैसा है. वो उसके अंदर गहराई बहुत ज्यादा है और शायद ये कभी खत्म नहीं होगा, उन्होंने जो दे के गए हम लोगों को.
सही बात है. Thank you. A very important statement. In fact, आप लोग तीनों मिलके जिस ढंग से इसका आलोचना कर रहे हैं, the way you all are discussing, I'm sure some of the viewers will agree with me, and I am sharing. I am now feeling like learning Kathak at this age. Age is not a factor; age is a number. And because this is so inspiring. You all are actually inspiring. But I'm going to come to a very important question. All of you all will have to answer that. But before that, there is one factor. Dance has been used in Indian Bollywood cinema. If I just to take Bollywood, it has even been used by Satyajit Ray for at least two of the films that we remember. One is Jalsa Ghor, where Roshan Kumari performed, and of course in Shatranj, where Shashwati Sen had performed. Now the question is, in the Bombay film industry, right from Mughal-e-Azam to Chaudhary Ka Chand, dance has been a dance, the Indian dance, and a lot of Kathak has been shown around. Now, where does let me ask this to Moushumee, and let me that where did what was the add-on value that Birju Maharaj ji brought in his time? Because if I just hold on for a minute, Moushumee, I want to just show these two pictures which I was able to acquire. So maybe just in time to show them. One is, of course, this. I just want to pick this on. This particular picture, I'm sure you can see this. This is Birju Maharaj ji actually teaching Kamala Hassan.
Vishwarupam.
Vishwarupam, and where he's teaching Hassan. And he has written a wonderful memoir and a remembrance on Birju Maharaj ji after he passed away last week. And the other I have is this one, which is about, which has, there is this Birju Maharaj in 1995, and Shatranj, and Satyajit Ray, and there is the dance, Shashwati Sen. So, I'm sure there are a lot of other, there are a number of other films in which he has. But, oh yes, Sheila Sanyal says Urao Jan has been another of where dances have been used. But what was, Moushumee, this is, I'm coming to you on this. What was his, what do you think was his contribution to using the, or rather, the Bombay film industry using the genius of Birju Maharaj?
So it is not, Shujita, about what he has contributed. It is the other way around, what Bollywood has actually got from him. The pearls that Bollywood got from him. Because he, as a dancer, classical dancer, he never had that urge to get associated with Bollywood or craved for it. It is when he, anybody, any producer, director would approach him. So he would actually see the context, the content, the lyrics. And if he could connect spiritually with that, and he kind of understood that he will have his creative satisfaction out of that, then only he created those, masterpieces for Bollywood. Actually, it is Bollywood that got, it is like what Bollywood has got from him. So the thing is that when he did this, that Dil To Pagal Hai, there's a musical, drum beat.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the music he actually choreographed. Then he did 2003, I think, Devdas for that, because you see both the context, even for that drum beat and this thing, it was all based on Krishna Leela Lasya, basically. So he only chose that, even for Bajirao Mastani, that number which he got a award for is what is that song? Mohe Rang Do Lal. Mohe Rang Do Lal. So Mohe Rang Do Lal. So he said he never had any expectation when he got. He said when he used to get his creative satisfaction, that's all he wanted from a song. And these awards and all were add-ons for him. He really never focused on those. So that was the magical creation. Like there are two more dance numbers. One is Madhuri Dixit's Dhai Ishkiya. So Hamri Atariya, that's a Thumri. and sung by Rekha Bharadwaj. Another one is Kalank, the film Kalankam, Ghar More Pardesiya, which is on a heavily Kathak has been used. But actually, Birju Maharaj ji did not choreograph those because he did not like much the lyrical content part. But there he has actually trained Alia Bhatt and Madhuri Dixit to cope up with the nuances that the Kathak dancer would require. So, of course, Madhuri Dixit became his disciple after, I think, 2003 when she danced on his choreography in this one. Devdas. Aahe Chhere Chhere Mohe. That's the song. So, I would say there are very few because he was very selective. So, what he was doing in terms of content. But I think these are the pearls that Bollywood will always kind of, it's a
absolute
treasure for
Bollywood. No, it is such what you are saying is such a lot of information, Moushumee, like, and to understand that here was one artist who would be very key as to selection of his lending his name or getting involved unless it sort of passionately and mentally and spiritually satisfy him. But Lunaji had mentioned something which I'm now going to ask Keka.
One thing, Sudhita, I would like to mention. I
go ahead.
First on these because I do choreograph on Bollywood songs, but on pure Kathak, not on what Bollywood does. So I treat a song very differently for Kathak genre. So that has been my forte. As Keka has mentioned, that it's very difficult to stay away from this when you are in Mumbai and then create an interest in the students that they would opt for Kathak. I did the reverse thing. I introduced them to Bollywood music and Kathak and then got them into Kathak dancing. So they got introduced through that. From the known to the unknown zone.
Excellent. I think we must be there when you are doing one of the reverse engineering sometime in the future, Moushumee, of doing non-Kathaks and into turning them to Kathaks. But I'm coming back to Keka now is something that Keka had mentioned and Luna had also been talking. The legacy of Maharaj ji. The legacy of Maharaj ji. Keka, you run an academy. You are saying that youngsters are getting attracted. You are members coming into Kathak. All that having happened, I know y'all have, I would have also talked about my association with Maharaj ji, my admiration for him. But at the same time, y'all, and I'm starting with you, I'll come to the other two. Y'all are also entrusted with the task of carrying forward the legacy of Kathak, the Birju Maharaj school. Y'all are also now, y'all have automatically become the torch bearers. And it is now on your shoulders to carry this legacy forward. And the way he has popularized, the way Dinesh Bhai was talking about that magic of, going down to Luchi Laddu in terms of his, and the great movement, the great Kathak movement, if I may call it, is now on people like you. So Keka, tell us, how do you think and how are you going to carry, you and everybody else are going to carry it forward?
Like a mentor, no matter how great he or she is, needs disciples to carry it forward, to carry the legacy forward. And in every sphere, not only in art, in any other sphere, a mentor needs disciples, just as a disciple needs a mentor. So in that perspective, in that aspect, I would say that a great mentor or a great leader is one who has fostered many people, because if he did not keep all his greatness to himself, and he wanted to impart it to each and every, whoever he would, is ready to accept it, take it. And so that is the reason he started these workshops in different cities, because not everybody would get the opportunity to go and learn, stay there and learn in Delhi. So he brought it to us. He brought it to the people in different cities, to the next generation, and even the generation after that, like how Luna was saying. I must say Luna ji, but as respect, because I knew you're a great dancer, and a great disciple of Maharaj ji, and so that is, the fostering should be done, and that is what he did. And he has fostered many capable, disciples like Luna here, and there are so many others, and there's such a dedicated disciple in Shashwati Didi. I've yet to see another dedicated disciple like her. I always admired during the workshops also. I mean, amazing her dedication, like total surrender, like to how one would do to a god, to the date. I mean, whatever one.
She has been like a
believes
shadow.
in.
वो भक्ति और शायद कभी ना हुई
No,
गुरु के लिए
I've
ये
never
भक्ति
seen.
वो
I've never
सफर
seen.
पर वो सरस्वती दीदी जैसा शायद ना होए कभी.
I've never seen. Yeah, and so that is because he did not keep it. Because बहुत होता है कि घराने में कि हमारे घराने की चीज है. This should remain
No.
only within our घराना, and I will not. But he was ready to give and let it. So that is the reason the legacy will go on, definitely. And people like, we too will definitely carry forward the dance form, but his legacy, people like his own disciples like Luna and others would definitely carry it forward, not even one generation, but generation after generation.
In fact, from what you all are saying, बोलिए लूना जी.
बिग क्रिएटर, उनको वो ऐसा नहीं है कि जो जिसका अच्छा है वो उसी से उसको अप्रिशिएट तो करते ही थे, वो तो अलग बात है. और कोई एक वाद्य यंत्र साउथ में गए तो उनके जो आवाज कहाँ से आ रहा है उसी हिसाब का ये बोल अपने दायरे में रह के उसी को बना दिया, उसमें से बोल बना दिया. तो वो साउथ इंडियन टाइप का, ये देखो ये उस टाइप का लग रहा है, ये सरोद का है, ये वाद्य यंत्र का है, तो ये यंत्र टाइप का बोल हो गया, वो उसमें ये आ गया. वो उनका हमेशा एंड ऑफ द डे वो जब मतलब हॉस्पिटल में भी दीदी, हम लोग भी दूर से तो नहीं जा पाते, दीदी भी बोल रहे थे कि इतने सुंदर सुंदर चीजें उन्होंने सिखाए. इट्स लाइक कि आप लोग ले लो, सब कुछ मनन करो, सब कुछ उसमें एक चीज अगर हमें मिल जाए तो उसमें से हम 10 चीजें सोच सकते हैं. तो उन्होंने ऐसे करके देके गए, और तब भी इतना कष्ट हुआ, वो ये सब कुछ उसके अंदर भी उनके शरीर के हर एक वो नस, ब्लड, शायद सब कुछ वो तालमेल लय में चलते थे. वो सब सोते हुए उसके सपने, उसके सब कुछ. हम तो कुछ अभी सीखते अब क्या 10 बोल सीखे, टुकड़ा सीखे, हम तो देखते रहते थे कि उनको वो उठते कैसे है, वो बैठते कैसे है, वो सोचते कैसे है, वो बोलते क्या है. अब कुछ सालों से हम लोग तो यही देखते आ रहे हैं, वो देखने का कोशिश करते हैं, वो एक्सपीरियंस करना चाहते हैं कि उनका सोच, ये तो बॉडी है, एक मनुष्य बॉडी, उसके अंदर से आता कहाँ से है ये सब. रात को 2 बजे घर पे उठ के चलो खड़े हो जाओ, ये बोल करो तो देखो ये इसका ये हाथ, अच्छा ये नहीं उधर. वो ट्रांजिशन, मूवमेंट्स का ट्रांजिशन, लय की गति, कौन मतलब वो जो टोटल परिपूर्णता जो होता है एक डांस फॉर्म, एक आध्यात्मिक तौर पे जो लेके चले गए महाराज जी इस नित्र भावना को, वो शायद बहुत कुछ देके गए हमको. अभी तो मनन करना है, ध्यान करना है और आगे ले जाना है बस.
I just wanted to add,
he was an institution in himself.
Yeah. I just wanted to add, I agree so much with Luna. When he used to come for the workshop, like I said, that more than the dance, because Padan Tore Tukrit Votu, he used to teach. I used to learn much more by observing him. The way he spoke, the way he, utna baitna, like how she said, utna baitna, baat karna, and, everything. Like, I think I learned more and from that. And also this, like how I mentioned in the beginning, patience, like I just wanted to add this because I must mention this because I was really amazed. And because मेरे जो कलापी सेंटर के वो थे that जो हम एक वो करते हैं फेस्टिवल जो करते हैं वो रेबा दीदी जैसे मैंने कहा रेबा दीदी 35 साल कथक केंद्र में सिखाई थी, तो महाराज जी को उनके लिए इतना रिस्पेक्ट and love, he used to had so much of love and respect for Reba Didi. And when I asked him, I was very hesitant to ask him that, Maharaj ji, I want a little bit of, video bites from you on Didi. Like, he was immediately, right after a hard day's workshop, like was in last din tha workshop ka, every day, and he was supposed to go for, for dinner, but he was like, he could have said, no, not today, I'm busy, I cannot do, or something, or you come on this day or that. बैठ गए immediately. ठीक है, चलो. And immediately, and the way he spoke, I was like, I was mesmerized. And there's so much of love and respect he had for Reba Didi that it showed, and so that I show every time during my festival, that, his clippings, and that is really a treasure for me, that what you spoke that time. And immediately, yeah, कभी भी ना नहीं बोलना, किसी को फोटो लेना है उनसे, तो
my first workshop I remember, तो उन्होंने बोला था कि बच्चा पहले डांस से पहले, सबसे पहले खड़े होना सीख जाओगे तो डांस सीख जाओगे. So, he was actually introducing thought. तो इतना सुंदर से, and every time I, impart this knowledge to my students, I say the same thing, because it is so much ingrained in my head that is the way to introduce. Itna, simplistically, he said that you have to know how to stand before you start dancing. And that was the way he was introducing us to Tat. And that was a beautiful way.
Okay, Moushumee, now, हाँ, मैं कह रहा था कि मौसमी में अभी आपसे एक लास्ट, आपके लिए आज का लास्ट क्वेश्चन जो है, because of that I want to go to Luna to help me close this program. I'll tell you, Luna, क्या होने वाला है. But मौसमी, आपसे जो पूछना है, all that we have discussed in the last 1 hour, we have, I don't think, we have talked about a people's artist, we have talked about a creative genius, we have talked about a selfless person, we have talked about a legend who will never die. I think we have talked about God. Do you accept that? Because these qualities can only happen to somebody who is spiritually way ahead of actually being referred to as the Maharaj. In this case, the Maharaj is the God himself.
Absolutely,
not
absolutely.
In temples and churches and mosques.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was a divine personality. He was a divine personality.
He was divine personality who was absolutely, dedicated, because he said, dance and music is not what I do it in a day. It is within me. So it's not an activity. He never considered
it is like food. It is like food.
It's like your own body, soul, everything.
Right.
So that's why he said, I am 24 hours that way spiritually connected, because dance connects me to that higher.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Exactly. Okay, now I think we have almost come to the end of an hour, and believe me, Kahan Kancheti at this point of time is feeling so nice to have been a part of this tribute to Maharaj Ji, because with all of you all, the way you all have spoken. But now, before we end this, I'm going to make Luna Ji a small request. I had this great plan of, ending with all of you all doing the bows and the mudras to close the program. But फिर मैंने देखा कि समस्या ये है कि वाईफाई वेवलेंथ अलग हो जाते हैं. आप अभी कुछ बोल रही तो 1 मिनट बाद वो काम, तो ये ऑर्केस्ट्रेशन कोऑर्डिनेशन नहीं होगा. So what I would want to do is that I'm actually going to, in fact, there's a lovely comment that has come saying that he actually is to breathe dance. So, so what I want to do, Luna Ji, is that I want to request you to run through a series of bowls. I want you to sing it out, right? And then we will close the program. We want to remember Maharaj Ji.
Trigadena Hadena, Tentina, Tigadena, Tagin, Dagagan, Dagatika, the Dagaden, Nagatika, Tikata, Digan, Nada, Nada, Tara, Dagin, Dagagan, Dagin, the Tikatika, the Dagaden, Nagatika, the Tikata, Digan, Teta, Neda, Teta. Tara, Dagin, Dagagan, Dagin, the Tikata, the Dagaden, Nugget, Tadang, the Tikata, Digan, Teta. Nada.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank
In fact, the last comment that I've got here is from Shashwati Chanda. हाँ, यहाँ पे एक वो कह रही है कि very rich experience listening to this learned and very interesting discussion. Yes, and there is one more that has come. I just read this out and then Luna, I'll come back to you. Most enriching session from the most wonderful speakers. Thanks to all of you. That जी बोलिए अभी आप लूना जी आप कुछ बोल रही थी.
नहीं, मेरा जो एक्सपीरियंस मतलब एज ए टीचर डांस तो सीखते आ रही हूँ. महाराज जी का और एक चीज जो मैंने देखा है, वो जो एब्जॉर्व किया है, उनके वो हर एक बॉडी के ऊपर अलग अलग इतना वो क्रिएटिव थे. जो शॉर्ट हाइट है उनके लिए जो बोल होते थे, जो बोल की जितना हाथ कितना दूर तक जाए, और एक जो हाइट जिनके हाइट ज्यादा हो उनका हाथ कितना तक जाए, ये एक टीचर के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है. सब लोग अगर हम लोग ऐसे ऐसे करेंगे कि हाइट वाइज, ये भी महाराज जी से बहुत एक चीज मैंने एक्सपीरियंस किया कि उन्होंने जिनका बॉडी जैसा है उस तरह का ताल भी, किसके ऊपर झापताल अच्छा लगता है, किसके ऊपर धमार अच्छा लगता है क्योंकि वो गंभीर है, क्योंकि ये नाजुक ताल है, किसके ऊपर रूपक अच्छा लगेगा, ये उनका. और वो सिखाने के लिए इतना पावरफुल थिंग है. अगर वो फॉलो करें हम लोग तो शायद जो बॉडी आते जाएंगे, एक ही चीज धाता कथूंगा, वो जैसे हमारे गुरुजी सीखे हैं, शाश्वती दीदी जैसे सीखे हैं, उनके बाद जो सीनियर्स हमारे सीखे हैं, वही दाता कथू का हम अलग सीखे हैं, हमारे बच्चे अलग सीखे हैं, उनके बच्चे अलग सीखे. हजारों मूवमेंट खाली एक बोल के लिए, वो धाता कथूंगा इतना तक के लिए पूरा जिंदगी कट जाएगा अगर हम लोग पूरी तरह से सीख ले. तो इतना वो हमको हमारे लिए सोच के गए कि इस डांस को कहाँ से कहाँ लेके आए, और हम मतलब एकदम बोलते हैं, प्रॉमिस करते हैं कि हम सब मिलके इसको वैसे ही रखेंगे, ऐसे ही आगे ले जाएंगे. उनके ये चिंता भावना सब कुछ.
Absolutely, Luna ji, and I think यहाँ पर Keka and Moushumee will also agree, and you in agreeing to carry this legacy forward. So with that, I first of all want to thank you all for. It was a very enriching session. Thank you, Keka. Thank you, Moushumee. Thank you, Luna, and thank you, Dinesh. आप कहाँ छुपे हुए हो? आपको भी thank you. आप लोग आज यहाँ पे आए हमारे कहानी कंचेती के प्रोग्राम में. फिर भी हम मिलेंगे आगे. दिनेश जी जरा देखें आपको. हाँ, थैंक यू फॉर कमिंग टुडे. Keka,
thank you Shujit ji, thank you Shujit.
I know I troubled you
for giving us this opportunity.
Thanks to my audience. No, it was. I'm feeling absolutely honored because you all are over here, and I'm feeling so nice from the soul because the way we paid our tributes to Maharaj ji. You know, this is something. At times you do the program, you do an event, but there are some events where your heart feels so nice, your soul feels so good, and this has been one such event like that. So, and I want to thank my friends. Please keep in touch with kahanikancheti.in. Follow us so page on social media, that's on Facebook, and our website. And we will keep coming back to you with such enlightening program as a part of our very graceful speakers. I must say somebody as a comment. So remember one thing: Kahani Kancheti's basic aim is to engage, entertain, and enlighten. That's what we have done. We have engaged you. We have entertained you with these very wonderful speakers, all four of them. And I'm sure we are all going back extremely. So on behalf of Kahani Kancheti and all my speakers, namaskar.
Namaskar.
Thank you.
नमस्कार.